Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. In this video today I'm going to show you my drum studio. I'll go over my gear, the microphones that I use. I'll show you my digital audio workstation and what I use online, some of the plugins that I use as well, and I'm also going to reveal my secrets, I guess you would call them, to some of the video effects that I use for my videos. If you like the content of this video, drum gear and things about drumming and the drum covers that I do on here, please subscribe, like and subscribe, share it with your friends, let them know what's going on the channel. I think there's some pretty cool stuff on here and some information that you'll find valuable. So again, please like and subscribe, and let's get into it now. So this is the room. It's a converted bedroom. It's the only room that I had available in my house that I could do this to. The size of the room is 13 feet long and 10 feet wide. It has basic construction. It's drywall walls. It has carpet on the floor. It also has a vaulted ceiling, which actually is to my benefit as far as recording goes. If I had a flat ceiling over top of me, I might have some weird standing overtones that would be difficult to get rid of and deal with. So the vaulted ceiling is a benefit, which I'm happy about. It also has behind the green screen, behind the drum kit, you'll see there was a big bay window back there, and it's all glass and it's pretty large. And before I did any treatment to this room, there was a lot of strange overtones, a little bit of weird ambience and some pinging sounds coming from the window area, so I knew I had to deal with that. But before I did anything to the room, it was just a basic bedroom setup. So as far as treatment of the room goes for sound purposes and recording, I didn't do a whole lot. The window behind me was the biggest issue, so what I did there was I read about some stuff called rock wool, which is a good insulator and it's also good for soundproofing. So I filled the whole window area with rock wool. It helped eliminate some of the sound going outside, which was great, but it also really took out all those strange weird overtones that were coming from that window area, so that was good. And then around the walls I put fiberglass panels. I think they're 2 foot by 4 foot fiberglass panels, and I just covered them with some black cloth. That's just to make them look better. They're not really all that elaborate. I'm not a carpenter per se, so I just kind of threw them up there just to make it work, try to do things quickly, and but it worked out well. The room sounds a lot less ambient, and the overtones are controlled, and it's a pretty good sounding room. The one thing that I did do, because there's carpeting on the floor, I got some test sounds in there, and I thought that the carpeting took up a little bit too much of the room sound. The room sound isn't very good. It's not a great, I wouldn't put a microphone in there and use it as a room sound. It's not very good for that. But what I did was I put a wooden platform underneath my drums to give me just a little bit of that ambient sound, just a touch, to give it a little bit of bite and a little bit more presence in the drums, and that seemed to kind of complement everything well. So overall, that's really all I did to it as far as sound treatment goes, and it seems to be working out pretty well at this point. So you'll notice that there's a pretty large green screen behind me. Whenever I decided to do drum videos, I wanted to try to set myself apart a little bit and do something different that I saw from most drum videos that are online. And I'm fortunate enough to have a son that is a talented animator and short film maker and producer, and he is instrumental in helping me to get the video effects that you see in my videos. So the green screen, I started out with one that was just behind the drums, and it was great, but I thought if I had a bigger one that maybe I could do some more elaborate things, and that was the case. So I put a little bit bigger one to kind of wrap around behind my drums, and we've been able to do some pretty cool stuff with video animating and throwing whatever I can think of back there. So the process with the video animation is that I'll kind of come up with a concept. A lot of it's just based on maybe the title of the song or what the song is about. Kind of come up with a concept, try to keep it light and funny sometimes, or something that's pretty cool that really fits the mood of the song. And my son Aaron, he takes it from there, and he just comes up with these amazing tricks and effects that are really cool and really make the video way more elaborate and much cooler than I could ever do on my own. So if you want to see some of the other things that Aaron does, I'm going to include a link here on the screen, and you can go there and check out Aaron's work. It's pretty amazing. He does a lot of really cool stuff, and really is a big help to me. So as far as my drum kit goes, I'm not going to go over my drum kit in specifics. There's a link I'm going to share here, right here on the screen as well, that I did a rig rundown video quite a while back, and you can see everything about my drum kit there as far as the sizes and the heads that I use, and my Gigster drum, bass drum silent monitoring system and things like that. So check that out if you want to know the specifics about the drum kit itself. So as far as microphones go, we'll start with the bass drum. The inside bass drum mic is an Audix D6. I used that quite a bit live, and I liked it, and the sound guy that was working with us liked it. There's certainly many other bass drum microphones that you can use that are awesome as well, but this is the one that I use. On the outside bass drum microphone, it's a Warm Audio 47 Junior, which is a copy, I believe, of a legendary FET 47 that was used quite a bit and still is in major recording studios. The sound quality on it is very comparable to that one, to the original, and it came highly recommended, so that's what I use on the outside of the kick drum. Snare drum and tom, I use Shure SM57s. As with most people, I was on a budget. I didn't have a whole lot of money to spend. I could certainly spend thousands and thousands of dollars on really expensive microphones, and I would love to do that and have a giant room with, wooden floors and a great sounding room, but I just don't have it. It's not within my means. So I had to keep my microphone choices affordable, and SM57s are great. I mean, they're the industry standard on the snare drum, but they work on a lot of different applications as well. You could really use them on everything on the kit if you really wanted to, but on my snare drum and on my rack tom, I used Shure SM57s. And then on the floor tom, I use an Audix D4. I also had those when I was playing live and got good results with them. They reproduce the low end pretty well. I only have 8 channels in what I do right now. I'm maybe going to expand in the future, but right now I only have 8 channels. So I have to share that microphone with the 2 floor toms most of the time. Every once in a while I'll put a separate mic on the 18-inch floor tom, but I usually use that separate mic as a room mic for other applications. But the Audix D4 works well, and it covers both of the floor toms really well. And for the overheads, I use Shure KSM-137s. The microphone choice for the overheads was a little bit more difficult than some of the other microphone choices. There's large diaphragm microphones and small diaphragm microphones, and what do you use, and what's best for cymbals that you want to pick up the kit, things like that came into play that isn't really a part of some of the other microphone choices. So if it was a great sounding room that I had, I would probably go with large diaphragm overhead condenser microphones that would have been more beneficial in picking up more of the room and more of the kit sound. But after talking with some people and reading about it, I decided to go with small diaphragm condenser microphones. They're good, they're clean, they pick up the cymbals, and they actually get some of the kit as well. I use some of the kit sound in those microphones as well, and they're pretty clean and accurate, and so far I've been pretty happy with them. The last microphone is a Royer R10 ribbon microphone. I read about room microphones, and a lot of the people that had room microphones were recommending using ribbons. So I did a little bit of research and decided to pull the trigger on a Royer R10. Very clean, it sounds great, and that's primarily what it's used for, is a room mic. Sometimes I put it outside in the hallway or down the hall a little bit in a larger room to get some distance and some size on the kit, but it works pretty well for that. Next up is the Scarlett Focusrite 18i20. That's where all the mics are plugged into. It's great. I really like it. Clean sounding. I don't have any trouble with it at all. It's also expandable. You can add another 8 channels onto it in the back, and that's probably what I'll eventually do down the road, because I could definitely use some channels, but I have no problem with it at all. It's great. Really, I really like it. As far as the digital audio workstation, I use Reaper. When I first started this I wanted to give Pro Tools a shot. I didn't want to buy the full version of Pro Tools. I didn't think it was really worth it for what I do, but I did use the Pro Tools free version for a while, and it was okay, but I just didn't like it as much. I just found Reaper to be a lot more user-friendly. I could really work a lot easier in Reaper, so that's what I end up going with. And then I just want to touch on a couple of plugins that I've bought that I use on a regular basis that you might find beneficial. One of them is the hybrid reverb unit. It's got some great plate sounds in it, and I use it a lot for snare drum and things like that. I also use the Waves SSL channel plugin. It's great for getting that, the initial sound on your track. I use it quite a bit. I also use the Waves compression unit. I like the way it sounds. Some of the other plugins that I use on a regular basis, there's one called the DrumEQ. I use it mostly on toms. It just sweetens the sound up. It takes away some of the stranger overtones that I can't get with the SSL channel, and I really like it as well. And then lastly, the Valhalla reverb, vintage reverb unit. I don't know as much about that as I should. I haven't worked with it a whole lot, but there's some great sounds in there, and it's you can do a lot of different types of things with it and modify the sound. So I use it sometimes with some room sounds and things like that for the room mic that I use. So that about wraps up the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you found it informative. Please like, share, and subscribe. As I said earlier, I really appreciate you watching. I'm going to try to get up as much information as I can to help out and kind of share what I've learned over my 50+ years of playing as a professional drummer and a session drummer. And I also I'm planning on putting out some videos, drum cover videos of my favorite and hopefully your favorite songs as well. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.